Hey, and all we're asking is to give peace a chance.
And to like and subscribe. Welcome back to the Insiders. Matt here in these Ritual Vision bad boys that I haven't taken off since unboxing, and I might take them off for the first time during this episode. You'll see. We're back. Big episode. Big episode. Margie's drama and rap, and the second episode of Stab in the Dark. First of all, how are you, Darren?
Oh, mate, I'm there in the Tom Fords. They're me Tom Ford evening reading and any sort of reading glasses these days. Uh, totally sponsored by French medical system. So good on you. That's all my tax paying for something. Matty, was I shocked? This morning I was. I clicked her on and I tried to do it where you don't see the results and it was on like that, but on the first round. But then when I went to the bracket straight away, I saw George Peter won. So obviously had to watch it. Um, I guess I was as shocked as when Miggy won bells because we're waking up to see these results. We're not watching them live.
Yeah,
But in retrospect, I wasn't shocked. Georgie rips the bark out of it. I tell you what,
yeah.
it was only during the day when I had a really quiet morning at the cafe and I was able to just get into the old Instagram magic that I saw all the drama. And did I piss myself? I tell you, I did.
Yeah, so I'll back you on that actually. I was shocked in the way of the fact that George has just come back from requalifying and then two events in he's winning his first event. But I wasn't shocked in terms of the talent. And last year he done really well at Margie's. And I think was it last year or the year before, but he got like he nearly took John John. And he got pretty far in that event. Anyway, yeah, like I guess what's a big shame is what's probably going to be our biggest talking point right now is the drama that's almost overshadowed his win. It won't do.
Love, just love a bit of drama.
But I've done some what I wanted to do is keep a neutral standpoint from you're an Aussie, so I would say that there's a little bit of bias, if not a big bit of bias, which is fair.
You
Like
haven't heard my opinion on this yet, mate.
no, I know exactly. I haven't heard, but what I have done is I've done a little bit of research. But let's go with your opinion. So
I
basically,
just well, hey, I just watched the full replay now because this morning I saw the highlights and I didn't
right.
even know what they were talking about.
So to to set,
I probably wouldn't have given a priority changing that thing. But hey, have
yeah,
I got the rule pocket in? I don't have the rule book in my pocket.
to set the scene, Margie's one big day of 28 heats in the day was pretty sick, and then it's been pretty down, a lot of downtime. And then yesterday was pretty cool to watch, but it was pretty wild, and they ran the quarterfinals, and then today they ran the semis and the final. And basically, all you need to know is George Pittar and Gabriel Medina were in the final, and there's two big controversial points, I guess, which is one. Medina paddling for a wave and giving George priority when George wasn't out the back, he was still paddling back out. And two, the score of the nine on George's wave. They're the two things that are the controversy. So you're saying that you probably wouldn't have switched the priority based on George's position.
Yeah, but like I don't know how it works. And you know what? I probably wouldn't have. I would have said, okay, well, he's not over at the peak yet. But that sort of stuff happens, which I don't think is a conspiracy. And honestly, the nine compared to the rest of the waves and the heat was well within reason. He nailed the back out of it. You see how fat that first section is? The
Yeah.
whole week you can see how many people have problem on that section. And Georgie didn't. Even another one I think I saw, it's just a hard section that where they're going up. It's such a beautiful peak. Huh? I surfed. a mini version of this the other morning here in France, which was just beautiful. And as soon as you come off the bottom, it kind of backed off, and then it kind of ran. So I mean, they got to get their points in. So they did that, and he did it with. I'm gonna, like the WSL can't stop with the nicknames, so I'm just gonna call him the Talkster. He's got so much body talk, hasn't he? It's just
DP,
incredible.
yeah. So I 100% agree with your comment there, where like, and this is the first point I wanted to say about the score being a nine. It was the best wave of the heat by a good point and a half. So wherever you want to put it on a scale, if Medina's best wave was a six, that was a seven and a half. If Medina's best wave was a seven and a half, that Georgia's score was a nine. I think that's completely fair. You look at the end result of the final, that basically plays out. Um,
Yeah,
I
he would have. They left themselves room to move. There was 20
yeah,
minutes
yeah.
to go. If Medina got a great wave, and he could have, like, we'll get to Medina. Like, he's not my favorite, like, personality in the world or whatever. But there was plenty of, there what didn't end up being plenty of opportunity for him. But judges, whatever. Like, there was 20 minutes to go. I reckon if he had lit one up, they would have given him a nine. They would have
Yeah.
given him 9.5 if he lit it up more.
This is the thing, right?
Right?
Is this is where we go into it and we go into the Instagram thing and the comments and stuff. They're just blatantly. So I got 2 points to this. First of all, there is blatantly not a conspiracy against Brazilians. Like seven of the last
They're
10
just
World
world
Cups
titles all the
are
time.
Brazilians. You look at how many times the Brazilians have been on the good side of the judges' rub, and then on the bad side, it far outweighs the good. My balance point on it, and this is what I just wanted to bring up. When Jack Robinson got a interference against Sammy Pupo, Australia blew up like Brazilians. I've actually done some research. Josh Kerr, Julian Wilson, um, let's have a look. Julia Maniz, Dylan Graves, Jackson Dorian, Yadin Nicol, all of those blew up in the comments of the post. And then one Brazilian, or not one Brazilian, but one high profile Brazilian, Lucas Chumbo, blew up and he got lit up, right? So
What
that
for the Jack one?
no, sorry, for the one today, for the
Yeah,
George
but they're
Gabriel one.
completely unrelated incidents.
No, but they are very much related in terms of their like you could have argued that the judging call against Sammy Pupo and Jack Robbo, you like there were people like basically there was Australians and Americans arguing that it was a bad call by the judges, and this like Julia Maniz, Jack Robinson's partner, taking to Instagram, taking to the WSL's comments and calling out the judges for what is a very similar scenario in terms of a judging call on interference and a judging call on priority. So all of the internet goes mental about the fact that Brazilians are blowing up about this call, but they don't call out Josh Kerr and they don't call out Julia Maniz and Yadin Nicol and Jackson
How do you
Dorian
how do you know they don't call them out?
because I can see the
Do you,
comments. You can
but
see
do
the
you
comments.
speak Portuguese? Do you
There's
speak
no
Portuguese? Do you speak
Well,
Portuguese?
first of all, that's silly because Instagram translates everything. Second of all, why do you have to be Portuguese to call them out? Why isn't an
I'm not. Hey,
Australian?
all I'm saying is, like, when they did call that out, I saw heaps of people writing them off, saying, "Hey, you're kidding." Of course, that's what it is. It's a debate, but you cannot ever say the percentage of sookiness is in
I think that's completely
comparison.
wrong. I think actually the comments look pretty level. I think if you look at comment to comment, instant to instant, they look pretty level. Same as the Yago one.
You could be, hey, you could be right if you've researched this. I'll back you.
I've had a look. I just wanted to add the fact that, and then Jackson Baker actually stood up for. It's funny because he's got a comment. He actually stood up for Sammy Pupo in the Bells event, and so did Dane Henry. Dane Henry put Robbo should have straightened out easy as you like to avoid it, and Jackson Baker put a comment, and then had to put another comment saying I'm copying some heat for my comment. Nothing against Jack. You're just not allowed to be that close, and he got awfully close, right?
Well,
So,
we said that. We
but
said that
so,
too. A
so
few other people said Sammy paddled back into him, but we said that it should have been an interference. I was like pretty well
yeah,
dead set
and it's
certain.
like people like, and then like in my opinion, Australians at the moment seem like they're blowing up at the fact that Brazilians are annoyed about the Medina situation.
Because they just want him to, because they just want him to be able to enjoy the win without saying it's the biggest robbery in surfing history.
But is
And
that not the same as Jack and Sammy?
Chumbo just puts comments, not just that one, all the time, all over the place.
Well,
Back to the
maybe.
Olympics thing when back to the Olympics thing when the other two got that judge sacked just because he took a picture with
Yeah.
Betty like from a little island and everything. And I thought that was pretty classic about Chumbo because that was
I,
some dude from Illawarra said to him, "Yeah, it'll be 9 minutes before your head comes off before if you come back here." Because obviously I saw it somewhere else. He was towing in down. He was towing in
but
down
that's
there. He was.
in our
This is
last
a different,
episode.
separate thing. He was
It,
towing in on a spot that was a paddle spot. So
but in
that's
our
why the guys ripped back into him.
But in our last episode, we heavily criticised Iago Dora's manager for saying, wait until you come to Brazil to Jacob Wilcox, right? But then an Australian says it about Lucas Chumbo saying, I'll take your head off in 9 minutes, right? And then it's funny. But it's not funny.
I'm not saying it's funny. I'm saying I wanted to find out what happened, and I saw what happened. He was towing in. It's a completely different thing. You
No,
got
but
listen.
threatening someone to come to a place and rip their head off, or threatening someone saying, wait until you come to
So
Brazil.
if you're talking about there was a judging decision in a heat with Jacob and Yago, right? In a
Yeah,
heat, a competition heat between them two. Huh? And then someone else came in and said, uh,
wait until
wait
you
till you
come to
come to
Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah,
Okay. So you're comparing that okay. So let's say Jacob goes to one of the paddle spots in Brazil,
yeah,
a paddle spot, and gets on a jet ski and tows in amongst all the people taken off.
yeah.
And then people tell him that they'll rip his head off. I would understand it.
I wouldn't understand either. Like you, like both are completely wrong. And
What's your paddle spot there in the UK? Like, what's that place
what
down? What's the place down on the south coast, which is near that pier, the Hell Right Hander?
in the South Coast?
Yeah, we probably shouldn't say its name, but I think I've seen Ben Skinner get hell barrels there and stuff. That I think they have to travel to it.
No, yeah, I know exactly where the reef. Yeah, yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you
So
mean. Yeah,
imagine he went there and he started towing in amongst all of them. They're going to say something.
yeah, but it still doesn't mean it's right. Like I've seen.
No, okay, it's true. Violence is not right. You're
I just
right.
think it's
You're
funny
right.
how.
I didn't say. I thought it was funny that
And
he worked up.
I'm not saying you, but I'm saying that the whole internet blew up going, this guy's a moron for. And me personally, I said, you're a dog if you say, wait until you come to Brazil. I think whoever says wait until you come to Illawarra to Lucas Trumbo is just as stupid and is just as doggy. Like, and that's not saying that I would beat him
Don't
up
forget
or
it's
he'd
a
beat me
country.
up. It's like the
Don't
fact
forget.
is it's dumb. Like, don't threaten anyone. At the end of the day, if he comes and surfs your spot and tows it, fuck it, he tows it. Like, crack on. Like, you can't do anything. Like,
Yes, you
it,
can. You can knock his head off because they're
yeah,
Aussies, mate.
good luck.
That's what
And
they're
then,
gonna do. That's
yeah,
what, at
but
least that's what they're gonna say. Whether they're gonna do it or
yeah,
not, I'm
it
not
still
saying
doesn't
that
mean it's
they're a
right.
bunch of
Like,
smart people, mate. You have been watching that country for the last 20 or 30 years. There's some pretty funny stuff that goes on that you wouldn't exactly call highly intellectual.
but at the same point, I think if somebody threatened Jacob for doing the same thing, all of Australia would kick off being like, nah, 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 like kind of thing. It's like there's a rivalry, obviously, but it's a little bit like, from my perspective, it's kind of like pot calling kettle black. Like you
Yeah,
can't kick off.
it's two completely different situations. You're talking about a competition judging call and everything, and you're also then talking about a high-profile big wave surfing. From what the rumor mill is saying, menace.
But I'm also
I'm
I'm
saying he's not
referring
talented.
I'm referring it to the fact that it's fine for people to call out the fact that Sammy Pupo was in the wrong and the judges were in the wrong about Jack Robinson, and that's fine. It's not you don't hear any
Yeah, but that was
cry more,
small.
cry this, cry that. But then as soon as Medina has a bad call against him and Brazil does light the comments up, which they do, every Aussie was waiting there going, "Oh, cry more, haha, this is what you get, blah blah blah." And it's like you're both as bad as each other. I'm not saying
Yeah,
that.
there you're pretty right. But that Sammy, I didn't see too many people blowing up at Sammy because he got the interference. Of course, people are going to say stuff, but I don't think it was really like biased towards
No.
that. I did think that there was some other comments from about Sammy, who turned up to pick up his fixed ding surfboard with a half a carton of beer. Did you hear about that one?
I have seen some rumors about it, but again,
I
like
thought that was pretty funny.
unsubstantiated, like kind of claims, like. But what I did see, which you won't hear a lot of, is Medina's done a post and he's congratulated George Pittar. Like he said, congratulations, well deserved, first of many to come. Like to George, tag George in it and stuff. Like and congratulated the two girls on first and second, Lakey on winning the women's and Luana finishing second, which
He's
is
good. He's a good sport. He's a good sportsman. He's grown into
classy.
himself.
But I just think that like the from my perspective, actually the win for George was spoiled by the comments. Like that's like I'm not defending the fact that those people are blowing up in the comments. They shouldn't be. Like grow up. Like
The last one I just saw, which I just think it's an absolute classic as well. Where is it? Let me get it back up, Matty. I think I sent it to you. Here's this one. Can someone explain why there are 12 stages, three in Australia, one in New Zealand, Cairn, Jeffreys Bay, and Classic Peaks or whatever? Look at the level of these Marolas full of belly and wind, too poor of fence and still blah 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 Brazil dominating, which is good. Make your own happiness, WSL. You can steal the Brazilians as always, but at the end of the year it will be a Brazilian lifting the trophy because we're the best surface in the world, which at the moment they are.
yeah,
Huh?
yeah,
But like I can't really think you can compare like what are we going to do? Put three events in a Brazilian beach break. If they can get the sponsorship and everything, I bet you they'll get the events there. If they can get the sponsorship and quality waves, like Margie's and Bell's are two very different waves, even though people can immediately say, oh, two fat rights. One's a split peak reef break, the other one's kind of like a reefy point. And Snapper, again, the most high performance, um,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Tell me another. What's more high performance right hand or not even right? It's even for backside like
But
Medina won.
this is where these people's got. I mean, it's kind of like this guy's arguing with himself, right? He's arguing that there's a
Yeah.
conspiracy that they're putting all of the stops in Australia and not in Brazil. But then Brazilians, four of the top five are Brazilian. Like, so what do you want? Do you want it to go to Brazil and potentially then the Brazilians don't perform? Or, they're clearly doing something
I guess
right,
they probably go just as good if they put it at three beach breaks there.
potentially. But then, like, it's the funny thing, isn't it? Like, oh, Australia's got such an advantage, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, well, clearly they haven't
They
because,
never have it. The best surfers have gone to the top. They're smashing them at the start here. Ethan Ewing can't have a heat where he catches waves.
yeah. And,
Like I'm not writing Ethan Ewing surfing off yet this year because I'm telling you, we haven't even seen him surf, apart from Stab in the Dark, which he absolutely ripped the bag out. I got ahead of myself there, but
oh, yeah,
what
that's
about
good.
Lakey? Like the women's side, I was hoping Katie was going to win. I just like how she can manage that sort of stuff. But Lakey's honestly, she's a deserving winner. Her style
Yeah.
suits there. She's won there before, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's run there before. She obviously spends a lot of time in Bells now as well, which like you say, like you can argue that there are similarities. There's very much not that many, but she's still
Wetsuit,
yeah.
cold water and power, I guess.
And this Katie Simmers, I thought did look like the best woman. Um, I've got this weird issue with Gabriella Bryant surfing at the moment. It seems like she's developed this new kind of like tail slidey maneuver, but it looks so disjointed and weird. And
Yeah,
like,
I'm not. I'm having troubles myself
yeah,
with her style. She's got the power, but back in the day, Pancho Sutherland had the power, and they weren't overscoring him compared to Kelly, for example. He
she
could do the biggest hack, and he didn't get the points. Where she
she
was,
seems like she's stopped doing a hack though, and she started to do this like weird slide. You remember when Tyler Wright, like about 5 or 6 years ago, just done that weird layback in every
yeah, all the
event?
time. Yep.
It feels like Gabriella's done so like she's worked so hard on adding this variety to her repertoire that she's actually then forgotten what the other side of it is. So she's now lost the variety, but she's doing this weird, funky maneuver. Like she lost
If
to,
anything,
yeah,
if anything as well, on top of that, like I'm not, I don't highly rate Luana Silver either, but she grew up in Hawaii, so obviously
mm,
that's her, and she surfed well, and she's made semi and a final. If anything, they always said that Bells and Margie's like, well, Gabrielle Bonner won it last year, uh, kind of pretty weird start to the year. They haven't had too many good days in a row. That's
yeah.
just kind of what comp surfing is. The forecast, by the way, for snappers looking insane, and we'll turn around this one. Matty's gonna because he doesn't sleep. Listeners, he's gonna get this one out tomorrow for us, or he's sacked. Well, I can't really sack him. He can actually sack me.
Sack myself.
Um, yeah, but pretty sick. I just like I wasn't saying it was right or wrong. I was sending you those
No,
comments. I just think it's hysterical about it. I just love it. I
yeah,
just love
yeah.
it. I thought that
We,
thing was really funny because I was thinking about the word was menace or pest is actually what I've heard a lot of talk about. Jumbo, but he's just sticking up for his countrymen as well. And it was a
well, I
weird
just
call. He was nearly out in the lineup. Well, I don't get it. I don't
do.
really get it. But
I've been thinking about a slightly different angle on it, and I think this about Julia Moniz, and I think this about Lucas Chumbo, right? Julia, her husband, or yeah, husband or
a
whatever,
bit different. It's a
partner.
husband. You'd expect the wife to say something when you're the
But
parents.
you would
The
also
Griff's
expect him to
case.
not like stay out of it.
You'd hope.
The same as Lucas Chumbo, right? His brother is on tour. Like, just stay out of it. No matter what you think, you've got like a invested interest in the tour. Stay out of it. Like, yes, if that happened to Zhao and there's some sort of controversy, potentially, but again, just like with Julia, it happened to Jack, and I'm like, stay out of it. It's like if something bad happened at your work and Emma started piping up to your bosses or whatever, or go in public about what happened with your work,
It's a horrible. Keep
you'd
your
be like,
private thing. Keep your
yeah,
private beefs in the private.
you'd be like, look, I appreciate your support and all of that jazz, but like let's keep that out of it. I don't want you involved. And that's my view on mainly all of it is like look at Chumbo like piping up, like like it
You
doesn't
know why they do it, man. You know why they
well,
do it. It's for the algorithm.
it's
They
pretty
want, that's how
algorithm.
it works. You know that. The more they comment on shit, I noticed it. I've been told by the specialist, the more you comment on shit, the more you get an interaction onto your
Yeah,
own.
potentially. You do run the risk of getting
Pathetic.
cancelled, but I did want to bring something up because you mentioned about Katie Simmers and at Bells she was on a sharp eye. At Margaret River on the smaller day she was on a sharp eye, but then she switched up to a Pang, which is really cool, a Glen Pang, even though she's meant to be riding for Borst. But so Roger from Board Shop, I sent you the comment saying about, like not going into too much, but they don't talk about people's boards enough, firstly. And secondly, is there a link between not changing your board shaper, and performing better? Because obviously John John's on Pizell. When Callum Robson was on tour and finished like in the top 10 the first year, he was on Sparrow and then he changed and fell off tour. Um, Obviously, like Lakey, for example, she's been with CI ages. She's just won. Um, you look at Medina only with Cabianca, and yes, he's riding CIs. He's not ridden one in a competition yet. I do think he'll be on one in Snapper. But um, like Felipe, synonymous with Sharp Eye. Do you think there's some sort of link? Like obviously Carissa
I
and
think
Steph.
there's a massive correlation, Matty, and we always used to speak about it, and there always has been. If you stick to your guns and don't get lost with your boards, which you don't need to be because they've got plenty of boards. If you can't work out with one person what your board is, it's going to be more of uh, a psyche issue as opposed to a technical issue. But I also think that it doesn't hurt to surf different boards at different places if they go better. And I think Katie's probably been surfing enough different boards over the years that she can switch around. And I don't think, to tell you the honest truth, I didn't see any different aspect of her surfing. She's looked the same as what she kind of always looks. She
Yeah,
looked a little bit undergunned on size, but she's just got such incredible technique. And I'd like to see a win snapper. And imagine I'm saying that. I'm coming back to be a Katie fan because I like her comments, I like her style, and
I love
and
Katie.
and, and I'm just hoping that the tour can get back to. I think style's the most important thing. I mean, power and criticalness as well, but style's like such a good
Yeah.
thing.
You could
And
argue
saying
though,
that,
like you look at like Geordie,
Steph Aaron, Steph Aaron, first seed again.
yeah, because Steph's pretty much not. I mean, she's won one heat, I think. So, but back to the boards, you look
No,
at
she
like,
hasn't. She hasn't won heat.
did she not make? Oh no, she's not made a heat. No, yeah, true.
Neva's Tia, Neva's Cowley, Neva's your mate Jo. Neva's a lot of them. You saw Lobby's gone up into the second round because he got through two heats,
Yeah,
which is helpful. Poor old Callum. Now Callum and Oscar Berry. I knew something like that was going to happen. They've got a friendly flyer, so
yeah.
whoever loses that heat
See you
has
later.
lost three in a row.
Yeah,
He's never going to get out of that first round, most probably. Um, we'll see. Like a really good forecast for Snapper. I'm frothing on it.
yeah. On the boards, just quickly, it's like I've been thinking because Roger did message, and I've been thinking about it. Like, obviously, like Kelly has only won one competition since he switched from Merrick's to Firewire, which was pipe, and he was probably
That could coincidentally also be attributed to the fact that he was 43
well,
when he
yes,
switched up or
but
whatever he was.
Geordie never won a world title, famous for going through different boards and test like I I personally, being the board slut I am, would say that testing boards and riding different boards is good for you. And Roger, I know you're listening, you're worse than me. But maybe that's why we're not on the world tour. But there is some sort of funny link there, and I'm going to be paying attention to it for the rest of the season, especially with Jack and his high profile move to JS and
Beatty
Koa.
Beatty famously said to me when I said, like, would you ride this in a comp? And Beatty was a massive overachiever. I just thought he was an incredible surfer, but he just wasn't like highly rated sponsorship wise. And he used to smash it. And he was always on his Mount Woodgies. And he said, look, I just surf these other boys to give myself a little bit of spice before events and see if there's something that we can work on with his own shaper. Parko, Mick never changed boards. Like you said, Steph, I think that's one element in the equation that you should
Yeah,
master and put it out of the variables.
yeah. Um, we should touch on like the women's obviously like Lakey won it. Luana Silva surfed really good. She beat Gabriella Bryant. Um, Katie was look. I was pretty sure Katie was going to win it. After the day where they ran in the big junky conditions, and then weirdly it was like kind of glassy and better today, even though it was a bit wave starved. And Lakey took it out, sick win. Who would have thought that this is what I was going to say? What the odds would have been if someone had said the winner of the first two men's events is going to be Miguel Pupo and George Pittar.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Imagine, imagine
But
you stuck
look,
it.
look, I I said to this mate of mine today, we had a quick discussion. I can't, I can't see Medina not being world champ this year.
I mean, I go back to the start of the season and our conversations that Medina could win snapper, Oscar Berry could win snapper. Like, Cal Robson could win snapper, Liam could win snapper, like Sammy Pupo could win snapper, like Zhao Chankar could win it. Like, and then on the girl side, exactly the same. Tia could easily win snapper. Steph probably should be one of the favourites in snapper, considering what she's done there and where she lives and stuff.
But now she's got to get past Aaron Brooks, who's only 4'4", and it's going to be a little 3 or 4 foot run and wave, and she's just going to be able to go bang, 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 bang,
And,
and
and she
she can
won
get
the
fitted
she
by
won the
stepping.
last event there. She won the
Yeah.
Changers there and stuff. And like exactly like the tour this year, men's and women's, is so level, so equal, so competitive and so fun to watch. Like every heat is almost like a semi-final, like quality wise. And it's
They've got a lot more people in their first round too, which I thought was pretty interesting. Look, we've only got 8.5 minutes left, Matty. I did want to, because it'll bring me to something else. I did want to talk on the second episode of
yes,
Stab in the Dark with obviously one of my personal favourite surfers and a couple of great shapers, for example, Pizel as well, Ethan Ewing, some Bauer, beautiful right hand reef breaks. Didn't look as good. Like they really pumped it up. They kind of got us there with the Pizel, and he didn't. He looked good on it. He looked good. He looks good on everything, but it wasn't like what we were thinking. And then so then I heard the stab. What's it called?
the stab
The new
mic.
stab mic, where they're not writing him off or anything, but basically, and I'm not surprised because he's a different sort of surfer. Dane and Katie's little brother were like, yeah, it was a little bit, maybe a little bit boring. He's a little bit of a robot or whatever. And am I biased? Is he a Pete Sampras robot? I just think it's
Nah.
unreal to watch.
Also,
Unreal.
I do think I actually you messaged me about that, and I was like, and then I was like, I'm going to give it a listen. Timo Simmers, Katie's little brother.
For me, he's a bit annoying, to tell you the
I
truth.
think
Sorry.
if Dane Reynolds wants to say that Ethan's a bit Pete Sampras or a bit boring, absolutely fine. Dane Reynolds has been one of the finest surfers to ever grace the planet. He's been in comps. He's been the primary free surfer for years and years and years. He surfs fucking amazing. Timo Simmers criticizing Ethan Ewing surfing is almost like me criticizing Michael Schumacher's driving. Like you, you can't really at his level call out Ethan for being too robotic or too bland or too boring when,
But people have for years. They used to do it with Mick, but
well, of
like,
course.
and I think even Dane did once or twice with Mick, even though he said he was also one of his favorite surfers. Um, and then I thought about it. Like, I can understand why they're saying it because he doesn't do like the loose sort of stuff that because I just think he doesn't need to. And that's also why surfers are different. Some surfer will like use his creativity in one way where Ethan's using his creativity in absolutely demolishing from start to finish. I'm just gutted he doesn't catch some more waves and
Yeah,
heats like I'd like to see him light up at Snapper. Snapper,
and he
oh,
easily
I'm looking
could.
forward
He
to it just
easily
because
could.
it's just such a great wave. I'd like to see, honestly, I'd like to see Oscar Berry, who I didn't know much about, but I looked at a lot of his
Air
stuff.
game.
Yeah. So, or also, and I don't want her to beat Steph, and I'm not a big uh, Christian cheerleader, but I'd like to see Aaron Brooks
Yeah,
actually try and get a bit of confidence rolling because
yeah, me too.
even,
And
even her front side turns at Margie, some of them look better than any of the other girls' front side on the
your
rock.
um your take on the stab in the dark thing actually reminded me of the funniest comment I saw about the George Pittar final, which someone put. Calm down, everyone. The Brazilians are just confused because someone scored a nine without doing an air reverse. And I
Yeah,
thought that was hilarious because, and that's what goes back to Ethan is Timo, Simmers, and Dane can think what they want, and fair play to them, especially Dane. He can have his own opinions, and I'll fully respect them. But for me, if Ethan done a half-assed air reverse on any of those waves that he surfed, it'd be a waste of the wave because, or a waste of a maneuver because every turn he is doing is
yeah.
at 100% foot to the floor, pedal to the metal, like. And I thought the Paizo looked okay until it buckled. Um, I did think the Borst looked good. Like I did think the
Which
Borst,
is the board he surfed last?
the
Was
Borst,
that Sharp
yeah.
Eye? The
No,
Borst.
no, sorry, the very last one was the Sharp Eye. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that was that actually Lakey Peak where he was going
It
left.
left, yeah, it went left. Yeah,
How good does he surf left? People
yeah,
forget that because one of his home breaks, which he would surf more, he's got a right hand point at his home, but he would surf more the left. They've got an insane beach break left there, and you can see
yeah.
it in his style. He's got the insanest backside, like blowtail. Like
So good.
I thought that was insane. I can't. I think
He's
he's. I think we said this, didn't we? I think he might be a little bit of an underdog at
yeah,
Raglan, but we'll
me
get to
too.
Raglan as well.
I agree.
Who's he still going to surf? What boards is he still going to surf?
He's still got to surf the stretch. He's still got to surf the Mayhem. He's still got to surf the JS, and um, I think that might be it, or there might be one more that I'm missing.
He went utterly ballistic on the DH.
Yeah, yeah, you can tell that that's his board. Like,
He's gonna go utterly ballistic on the JS. That's a prediction for me. They're from the same area. I
yeah,
mean, a JS and a TH. I'm not going to say they're the same board, but I bet that he'll
yeah,
be able to pick up on a JS pretty quickly as well. I want it'll be interesting to see how it goes on the stretch. I would have picked a couple of different. I would have liked seeing my mate Bradley
yeah. Me too.
in
Bradley
that
should be
just
in
because
there.
he's got really drivey, tight, kind of sucky sort of boards that
Yeah.
I think he would have liked.
Again, there was a bit in this where they got told. I can't. It might have been the Borst, or it
Yeah,
might.
last minute.
He
Timmy
had like
Patterson as well.
3 days to turn it around, and you said maybe it's because someone pulled out, which could be true. But if it's not, then Stab need to up their game on that organizational thing because these are the world's best surfers and the world's best shapers, or some of the world's best shapers, because Christian should be in there. And the fact that you're asking them to turn it around in 3 days is not right. Like that's not what they do. When DH is working on Ethan's boards, he's not rushing them through in 3 days. He's spending a bit of time on them. Like, yes, they get top of the pile first priority, but he still spends time on them. So, but I think it's an amazing episode, and he will be coming back to the Sharp Eye and to the Borst and to the board in the first episode, not the Patterson. The no, sorry, it was the Timmy Pat? No, sorry, it wasn't the Chili. Can't remember what it was. Anyway, it was
I thought what was funny was Taj's little dig at that Timmy Patterson would be happy that he actually puts the rail in the water
yeah,
because
yeah. Very
it
funny.
just shows how bitchy and commenty everyone can be.
Yeah.
And I just think these comments on Georgie or on Ethan, it is kind of funny and it is entertaining. It shows how much people can get heated up
I think,
about stuff that isn't in their own life.
and it is better. I prefer that than everyone being, and this is, I mean this in a bad way, but in a good way as well. It's better than everyone being like what Mick Fanning was like on his Stab in the Dark, where everyone going, yeah, he's okay. Yeah, he's okay. But in your head, you're thinking, fuck, I hate that surfing. Like, I'm quite open and a bit like Taj. I think Italo, his surfing doesn't do it for me. Like, I can
Well, there you
respect
go.
it. I can
And we
fully
can talk
respect it.
about that, Matty, before our time runs out. We'll talk about that in our snapper
Yes. But thanks for
preview.
coming. We'll see you all soon. Get yourself some ritual vision
Hey, and all we're asking is to give peace a chance.
and to like and subscribe.
Au
That's
revoir.
it. Au revoir.